You don't even have to go to social media, right, Tom, in order to see these outrageous forecasts?
Listen, Team iPhone here, all the way. My brother, who lives in James Island, not too far from you, Jared, sent me this picture here saying 14 inches of snow for Charleston.
And this isn't a forecast. This is telling you what has occurred.
Yes, if you're listening now, we're showing you a screen with precipitation totals. It says past 24 hours snow, and then right next to it is 14 inches. Now, if you
Nowhere
open
in the
this up on
Carolinas did that happen.
nowhere, right? Nowhere. So again, Team iPhone all the way. At least speaking for myself, but this is just way off.
Is this
But
Apple
Uh,
weather?
Yeah.
I'm really curious how this happens because this was taken this morning at 6:46.
I'll tell you what. Apple weather is circling the drain. It's gone down the toilet. It's circling the drain.
It's known
Clearly.
terrible.
It is, and I've gotten, just in the lead up to the event, a lot of questions like, why does my app say this? Why does my app say that? My app says 12 inches. And I'm like, that's not even close to what we think will happen. It was like,
No.
And then people hold the actual meteorologists accountable for a forecast they didn't make. Don't do that.
My phone
Don't
says
do that. Your phone, it's that like
I
we
think
said
the
at the
equivalent
outset,
of that. The equivalent of that would be like going into a NFL game, looking at the highs and the lows, and making a bet, and then the coach does something, and you're like, "That's not what my app said was going to happen." And it's like, you're holding the coach accountable for what your sports betting app said might happen. Like those two things are not the same.
Exactly.
Right.
People, they pick up their phone and look at the app and see what the Apple app is calling for, and they tell their friends, well, they're calling for
Right. Who's they?
Also,
just to be clear, I know this is not a phone.
Okay, good.
just so we're
just getting a little concerned there.
But it does
anytime
give me
you hear
better
someone say
forecasting than Apple.
they're calling for, ask them who they is. Is it your app or is it an actual meteorologist? If they're talking about a silly phone app, now qualify things. Crap apps like Apple's app, you shouldn't give them any credence at all, of course. Now, TV stations have their apps, and sometimes the forecast comes from that TV meteorologist. That's going to be a decent forecast. Apple app, no, you're not, because that's all automated and it is junk.
And just going completely off of the computer. They're not using the OBS. And what I think happened is that the model snow ratio was out of control and made some assumptions that were very, very wrong.